Hello again and welcome back to more Sonic Heroes. You can just call me Stent. Oh boy. Just thinking about the Cyberpunk stream yesterday. Some pretty heavy stuff, not gonna lie. It was definitely quite the heavy ordeal if you were there to see it, but I suppose in that case I am sort of thankful and I suppose do kind of find it funny, but for the rest of the streams we have lined up, it's mostly just going to be me going through some more funny and I suppose more relaxed games. Just having some laughs, just reminiscing as opposed to just... I suppose just seeing all sorts of horrible, terrible things in Night City. But enough about that. It's time for, speaking of Cyberpunk, Keanu Reeves' team. Recommended to the immediate players, who are likely gonna have to go through this whole game anyway. I'm guessing this is our way of appealing to families, but... naturally speaking, I think the progress will mostly just be Team Rose, Team Sonic, Team Dark, and then... whoever wanted to do Team Chaotix for some reason. Ah yes, and here we have Rouge before her nerfs. I wonder what happened to this particular outfit. I know her Adventure 2 look is sort of the iconic one, but... I'm sort of curious as to the origins of this particular outfit. Why the need for change? Why was it suddenly thrown out? Obviously we have Arnold Bot here. Mexican Vegeta actor team. I'll take your word on it. As Rouge rapidly becomes the glue that holds this dysfunctional unit together.
Now I see it. Now I know what this is all about. You're mad at Eggman for sealing you in this room.
Yeah, that's quite the ways to devalue Gamma's whole rebellion, isn't it? Just, oh, Omega just went rampant just for being locked in a cupboard for too long.
Oh yeah, baby. This makes us a team.
And just like that, Team Dark is born. And they never existed according to IDW. Or Sonic Racing was it overclocked? I can't remember. Regardless. Here we are back once again in the Seaside Hill. For what is arguably this game's biggest flaw, just having no changes whatsoever to the level order. Despite the fact that you have to go for this 4 times. I think, though, the way I'm doing it at the very least seems to be the better way to do it, which is just do one team at a time and not just try and marathon the whole game, because you'll burn yourself out very quickly. And here, of course, we have Omega, who, as far as I'm aware, is basically the worst of the power characters in this game. Because all he has is his punch. He doesn't have the sort of rapid jab punch that Knuckles does. He doesn't have the ranged attacks that the other power characters do, so he's just left flinging himself across the map and falling off the edge just like that. Generally speaking, it's wise to avoid using Omega as much as you can. Or at least using him in areas which don't have bottomless pits nearby. I can at the very least appreciate them trying to add a little bit of differentiation with various bits of level layout being a little bit different. Omega, yeah, it is kind of funny just seeing Omega and then remembering how tall Gamma was in Adventure 1. It's just... Apparently, according to this game, the ultimate E-Series robot is a hobbit. Lalafell robot. Even. I know a lot of people would say Short King, but honestly, Omega isn't king of anything in this game. In the meantime, Shadow and Rouge are basically just completely identical in terms of gameplay to Sonic and Tails, so not really much to say about them. It's just go for this again, except with harder levels and an objectively worse power type character. Have fun! I mean, if you want to talk short content, from what I recall, Colors wasn't all that long, neither is Generation, so I'm not sure it's necessarily a question of length. Then again, I'm not sure I would really want a adventure remake with the current sensibilities over at Sonic Team. You just know there's just gonna be all these small things added in, which just just straight up subtract from the experience. And you know the gameplay's not going to be as good because, well, they haven't been able to improve upon it or even recreate it in the last 20 years, so... I don't see much necessarily changing in that regard. It would be neat if that was, and... I feel I should preface a little bit, because I feel a lot of people tend to forget. The Sonic series... I'm not sure, I feel like you can tell I'm sort of hesitating to say it. But it is in a better position, at the very least, compared to the wilderness years of the late 2010s. And I'll be honest, despite not really liking some of the creative choices over at Sonic Team at the moment, it is better than just constantly being left in the dark all the time, so I can appreciate that at the very least. Sorry about that, just laundry. Didn't you remake happen to give us Heroes, remake to make it a trilogy? Honestly, I don't necessarily see them just doing them in a package trilogy. I imagine them just doing them one at a time because they could probably get more money that way. At least that's how I see it. I highly doubt that we will ever get just a Sonic Adventure collection / remake any point in the future. I'd be surprised if they did, but me personally, I don't see it happening, and honestly, given the access to the games that we all have at the moment, or at least I have, for one, I'm not entirely feeling it's necessary. I mean, Adventure 1 maybe, but for the others, I'm fairly happy with where they are. Sort of interesting little tidbits to look back upon and cherish in my own way, and realize that maybe they aren't exactly the most healthy for the overall series in the future. Maybe it was just me rambling, but it's how I feel at the very least. Also, guessing that we're not going to be getting much more special stage antics this time around, because, well, we hardly saw them last time. I'm not really going to ask it about the sort of lore implications of this sort of place, because I'm not entirely certain people will accept the Warp of Confusion as a legitimate answer. But yeah, honestly, the special stage just really reminds me of, what was it, SEGA Superstars for the iToy? At least that was it. Because I think that also had its own little Chow Garden. Like, the only other game outside the adventure games in the Advanced series to have a Chow Garden. And it was on the PlayStation iToy, which, from what I've heard at the very least, was surprisingly good. At least going off of what I heard, it was better than the Kinect at the very least, though Again, it was just a camera, not any of this, whatever they were trying to do with the Kinect. Because the OG games is listed if the games get remake. I mean, that too, but then again, I'm still kind of baffled that Heroes never got a Steam remaster. Like, not a single Steam or HD console port, especially since there already is an existing... How do I give them... Well, I wouldn't necessarily... I'm not necessarily in the position to really be asking for money. I don't really be the sort of person who just sort of demands donations for my chats. But, yeah, it's currently unavailable. Assuming that I do get bigger in the future, then I'm sure the opportunity will arise. But for the time being, it's just me not having to worry about getting demonetized at the very least, which is nice. Because I imagine the Cyberpunk streams are just gonna give the YouTube algorithm a panic attack. It's like, he did what in this stream? Do I have a... Actually, I don't have a Patreon. It's weird really thinking about it, because from what I recall, I remember at the very least not really liking Patreon for one reason or another. Or maybe it was just because I didn't necessarily feel the need to use it all that often, so I just never really considered it. Then again, I'm not exactly in the position where I'm necessarily in need of donations, so it's not entirely something that I'm all too worried about the time being. If donations via Super Chats come in the future, then they come in the future. But for now, let's just enjoy all these nice, relaxing games. I feel especially now that... Good news, the flippy drive has finally arrived. It feels as though it's just opened up a treasure trove of possibilities with all these old games. In the sense that I might not actually need to buy any more games in the future, especially considering they're likely just gonna become more extortionately priced as time goes on if the Switch 2 and the Xbox games and PlayStation or anything to go by. I can find ways to make do without.
Hey, where's the turtle going?
Where is this turtle going? That's a very good question, Rouge. You can definitely see where this was ported into Generations. As much as I think Egg Fleet should have been the one which was ported, just... This turtle section in general just always seemed fairly iconic to me. It's just one of the more memorable pieces of Sonic levels to me. So many people coming in to watch me play Sonic Heroes. I thought people hated this game now, but then again, Sonic Twitter, they hate everything. They hate everything to do with Sonic apparently nowadays. Guess they just can't bear the prospect of the series being successful. Or at least not successful, but not in the way they want it to be, which... Let's face it, if things were always the way they wanted to be, then I wouldn't have to want for anything. I probably wouldn't be streaming, I wouldn't have to talk to anybody. I'd just be able to enjoy all these old games on my own time and not have to worry or care in the world. But, alas, that's not how the world works. Happy Father's Day, yes. We all sat down and had a nice curry together for the Father's Day celebrations. As well as doing, I almost want to say a few dad things on my own, just tinkering with the GameCube, but I'm not entirely certain as to whether that's strictly dad activities. Anyways, let's see if we get hit in the back by this rock this time. We didn't last time. Let's see if that changes this time around. Will we fall to our deaths? Yes! Honestly, that feels super random. Yep, well... I guess we're just going for the E-Reg this time around. Sonic Heroes is part of my childhood? Yeah, same. Okay, let's see if we get hit by the rock this time. We didn't! Thankfully, this is the last time we have to worry about this particular rock, so I'm not particularly fussed. Bye-bye. Yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of the Generations version of this stage as well. And yeah. They don't have it all that often nowadays, just saving it for special occasions, but it turned out quite nice.
What's wrong with me?
What is wrong with me? I ask myself the same question every day. Well, we don't have to worry about Chaos Elements this time around. I love how his eyes just jitter. Wow, Robotnik... Robotnik has so little... so little of an opinion of you that he doesn't even remember you by sight. He's just like, oh, you must be Omega. What kind of creator forgets his own robots like that? How do humans live in this world anyway? Presumably the same they do in any other time, similar to if Adventure is anything to go by. I really want to go for Adventure again at some point. It just feels like a tradition, but I still do enjoy it. Probably will go for the GameCube version this time around.
Mission completed.
Have to move fast like Sonic to move from place to... Well, cars exist. I mean, traffic's a nightmare with all these loop-to-loops in the road, but they make do.
Cruiser battleship destroyed.
At least that's what I'm assuming anyway, going by stuff like Speed Highway, where there's just loops in the road. Central City, I'm guessing, not so much of an issue. I mean, sure, there's Radical Highway, but City Escape, Mission Street, not so much. Obviously, the pulleys are a bit of a pain. Here we are back in Coruscant.
Whatever it takes, he's mine. Any objections?
All the world's jewels.
That red liquid is being traded at high prices.
Eggman must have plans to control the energy.
I know that I in the past that I've railed against this particular level a lot, saying, oh, this level doesn't make any sense within the context of what's established in the Sonic world at this point in time. But honestly, I still have a lot of fond memories of this level. I guess it's just nostalgia bias, but I still enjoy at least all these levels from an aesthetic level. I know that's a lot of the levels later on gameplay-wise aren't exactly all that great. The casino levels are sort of paramount to that particular fact, but visual-wise, these always will have a place in my heart, even if mechanics-wise they aren't exactly the most enjoyable. I mean, Grand Metropolis is always great. I can't remember which one of the Olympic Games this particular level ended up in, but I remember just I think it was the 2012 Olympics. I think it was the I don't want to say pole vaulting. At least something to do with swinging on poles. This is like, oh, it's not Radical Highway. That was Winter Olympics. It's Grand Metropolis, and I was like, oh, that looks. Well, off to a good start. Where was Gun Adventure 1? They hadn't been created yet.
Here they come.
I just love how the robots are just sort of sat there A-posing until you approach. It's funny. Obviously, I am not going to be laughing so much once we get to stuff like Final Fortress, because I know especially with Team Dark it's especially rough, but for now, though, I'm just going to enjoy this. Wait. Honestly, I can't help but feel personally that my existence as a Sonic fan at this point is more so just despite Sonic Twitter and all its esteemed negativity and various bouts of toxic positivity. I just want to enjoy what I want to enjoy. And even if it is objectively not that great, like, even I'd say that Heroes in of itself isn't exactly the pinnacle of Sonic games. I still find enjoyment in it, but I know it's not that great of the actual game, especially within the, as I mentioned previously, in the context of 2004 video games. What are you going on about in chat? I'm just looking over. Sorry that I'm not saying all that much, just focusing on the game, because I know that Team Dark is sort of the harder one. One thing I've kind of noticed is that, at the very least in Seaside Hell, it feels like there's prompts for you using the Team Blast, but it seems as though it's not exactly as clear-cut in the later levels. I can sort of understand that in stuff like the last couple levels, where it's like, yeah, you know how the game works, use it at your own discretion, but... honestly, I kind of like that about Seaside Hill, and I kind of wish that was done a little bit more, just like, here's a whole bunch of enemies for you to Team Blast, hope you hold on to it. Weirdly enough, the one game which really comes to mind when I'm thinking about this game would be Sonic Battle R, the fan-made multiplayer game. Because I played a little bit of that and I remember having fun with it. Kind of want to see at some point where I should get back into it and see what's changed. I'm guessing a lot, because it was like a fair few years ago when I did it. You can sort of tell it's been one of those days where I'm just sort of in the more relaxed mood, just struggling for commentary. Because that's the thing about Heroes, really, it's that you're going through the same stuff over and over again. If Sonic Heroes got remade, there should be a Metal Sonic. Feel free to elaborate for us, why don't you? Because, well, obviously Metal Sonic is in this game. I'm not entirely certain how that would work within the context of, well, this is unless you're just assuming, oh, just Metal Sonic, Metal Knuckles, and even Metal Tails from Superstars or the Tails doll, depending on which you prefer. Well, Omega's dead. Yeah, I feel that's something that feels like it should be more easily abused. The fact that you can tank a hit as power-up type characters. That's like one of the few things Omega's good for in this game.
I'll take it from here.
I mean, in terms of Sonic Heroes characters, I would have liked to see them in a potential remake, if we ever got a remake, just reintroducing all the characters they had planned for this, like Team Hooligan, Mighty and Ray, just... I really got the sense this was planned to be sort of a big everybody is here moment for Sonic, but it didn't necessarily work out that way.
Piece
Hey, David.
of cake.
We're just slowly making our way through Team Dark's story. I'm guessing this is going to be the longest. Most likely a prequel, but... Alright, so you're thinking like episode Metal. At least that's what immediately comes to mind for me. Oh yeah! Nice little bit of clever level design here, where you jump off of these, and you get a free lightspeed dash, and a free power core. There's little details like that, just... Level design. I do definitely wish that if there was a remake, though, there would be the option to switch off or minimize the dialogue, because, like, yes, I'm pretty sure after a while we know how each of these levels is supposed to play out. There's no need for you to keep blabbering in my ears about very obvious things. Also, right here we see the problems with Chaos Inferno, where for the longest time you're just sort of stuck here waiting for the automated parts of the level to actually move so you can progress. It's the curse of Team Dark, really. Like, Chaos Inferno is pretty cool, but you do end up wasting a lot of time, which it feels like you probably shouldn't. Like, here would probably be a good time to use Chaos Inferno, actually. So, yeah, that's probably on, that's probably my bad, to be fair. This gives me the big Chaos and Gamma was supposed to be on a team together. Yeah, that does seem like a pretty weird combination. And I can't remember if it was supposed to be Amy, Cream, and Rouge at one point, to just sort of have the all-girls team. Which I suppose, considering their parallels to Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, it makes sense, even though I wouldn't necessarily consider Rouge to be a power-type character. Also, the fact that Gamma's supposed to be dead. But then again, Shadow was supposed to be dead, so... eh. Honestly, it feels with this series that anything goes at various points. Also, yeah. I do quite like this about Team Dark's power plant, how you can just skip great quaffs of it. Just by placing yourself well within the dash rings. I kind of wish there was more of that, just sort of really keeping the momentum up as opposed to just being... as opposed to just being stuck on an elevator. Yeah, I remember Blades of Sonic Rush was made earlier. I suppose. Alright, I'm gonna need Rouge for this. Away we go. I suppose that's one thing that I remember keenly about Sonic Battle R, is that it just had a whole bunch of maps from like Adventure, Adventure 2, and Heroes, like mostly Adventure and Heroes from what I recall. Alright, let's see if we're stuck in this room for the foreseeable future. Yup. Ah yes, the ultimate power to end up wasting my time stuck in this room. Well done, Shadow. The power to stop time isn't actually a bonus here. Who would have thunk it? I think I already mentioned in the last part that stuff like this sort of leads me to wonder whether or not combat is necessarily a thing that should be in the Sonic series. Me personally, I've been convinced at this point that no, it doesn't really benefit. It really gives a sense of trying to fix what isn't broken, just trying to add all sorts of different stuff onto it, which the series doesn't necessarily need in the means of trying to evolve, but not really doing so in a necessarily effective way. Like, I know the series gets compared to Mario a lot, and I think that's a good benchmark in all honesty, considering I'm pretty sure SEGA officials have come out and saying they want Sonic to be a rival to Mario again at some point. Which, I mean, Mario is pretty much the king of the industry, so I'm guessing that they're setting the bar a little bit too high there, but generally speaking, just focusing on, I suppose, iterating on and improving upon their core in the same way that the Mario series did would probably be a decent start. Where are my words today? DMC style I mean, I could definitely see the appeal of a DMC style Sonic game, I just don't think it would be necessarily a healthy option for a mainline title, if that makes sense. Get out of here, you. Alright, are we stuck? Yep, we're stuck here again. Really love Chaos Inferno. Definitely the best of the Team Blasts. I know it's kind of weird considering how the game presents it, but I do generally feel that in terms of gameplay, at the very least, Team Dark is pretty much the worst of the bunch. But the only thing they necessarily have going for them is the Lightspeed Dash, which is just the same as Team Sonic. Like, I think that's a good way to put it. It's just an objectively worse version of Team Sonic. But in harder levels, so I can definitely see why a lot of people didn't necessarily have fun with these levels. Also kind of strange that we haven't come across any keys as of late. Maybe I just missed them. Guessing I'm probably just gonna have to get as many as I can in the Team Rose playthrough at the very least, so it's not the end of the world. And we're out of here. And on to the good characters. Boom.
Perfect as always.
Man, who are those creeps over there?
What's up, SBO?
It's him. It's the boys.
Just what do you think you're doing here?
Who's this broad?
Our client's adversary, perhaps.
You mean the bad guys?
I'm gonna have to bring my A game for those fellas. And I tell you what, for the time being,
Get out of my way!
let's get these clowns out of the way. Team NWA. Alright, let's see if this takes us 20 seconds once again. Alright, let's do this. Get out of here, Victor. Well, there goes Vector. Get out of here, Charmy. It is them, yes. And now they're gone. Did I mention that these particular levels are...
For letting you live.
these particular boss fights aren't exactly that good? Hey, boss, you don't want to mess with that. Hey, boss, you don't want to mess with that. Yes, the green one is Christian. Yes, Vector is a devout Christian. I kind of wish they'd bring back, though I know that a lot of people may not be necessarily the most happy about it. I'd still find it entertaining.
I wonder. Never mind, those guys were definitely up to no good.
Enemies detected 200.
Ah yes, no good, just preaching their Christian ways. Because that's apparently what Rouge finds no good. Anyways, it's time for more pinball. It's like, oh, my favorite level.
You're too serious, Omega.
I do definitely like how it looks from a visual standpoint, though, at the very least. Just all the levels in this game just give me that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Just, I think I've already said it, but I feel that in terms of how aesthetics in the Sonic series should look, this is my preference. Where it's not as completely outlandish as something like Lost World, but still notably vibrant. And especially memorable. Just have a lot of fun. Do I really want to say fun with regards to this level? I have a lot of memories of this particular stage. In fact, all the stages for that matter. There we go. We're not gonna bother with the slot machine. It's a family practicing. Yeah, that just sort of reminds me of that one Kesha song where she's like, got Jesus on my necklace, and it's like, Are you sure it's Jesus on your necklace, or is it not just a pearl necklace? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Boop, boop. Oh yes, their way of making things harder here, just having you bouncing on balls. Well, we almost made it that time around. She's breaking up, Captain! Alright, out of my way. Look at the strong character of each team uses the other's boxing. Yeah! And as such, Rouge and Shadow now have several concussions. As they just go headfirst into a giant robot jellyfish. Let's see, what does it say? Fireball. Brr, dut, 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 dut. I was gonna say, I do quite like all the neon signs in these particular levels, because the one that... Game. Not comfortable since Omega's hands are trying to spill... I mean, that's fair. Anyways, as I was gonna say, I do quite like all the various neon signs you get to see in these old Sonic games, because I remember, like, I think it was Spring Yard Zone in Sonic 1, one of the neon signs you could just find just said Cope. It's like, what did they mean by this in 1991? Did Yuji Naka foresee the future? I will say I definitely do prefer the casino segments in Sonic 3 at the very least. And by that I mean the bounds stage, the bounds round. Get up there, you. Come on. We don't have all day. I can't remember if I've ever actually gotten a jackpot on there, like the maximum jackpot what you can get with all 3 characters in one of those, because the rewards triple depending on if you have all 3 characters in there. I got it. Got it. Come on, let's get out of this realm of plastic and neon. We got places to be. At least I'm assuming this is all plastic. Plastic and rubber. Oh, this would be the perfect opportunity to use a Team Blast if only I had it. Get out of here, Rouge, but maybe Shadow's hair clothes probably be like punching someone with barbed wire. Or, you know, just a whole bunch of rubbery bananas. Because that's what Sonic's quills at various points do tend to look like. Just a bunch of large bananas as opposed to Hedgehog quills. I kind of wonder what a lot of the Hedgehog characters would look like in this series if they had more realistic spikes. Okay, level's over. Let's just get out of here. Banana, yeah, banana hair. That's what it's looked like for the longest time for me. Anyways, get out of here, you. I got places to be. I gotta go play bingo because I'm old. They do look like bananas though, don't they? Just bananas painted black and red. As opposed to just a whole bunch of spiky needles sticking out the back of their head. I had that in the movies and it wasn't uncanny as... It still wasn't as uncanny as the realistic Pokemon in Detective Pikachu. I mean, I would have still liked to have seen an actual, like, Pokemon movie in that setting, because... I don't know, from the writing of the very least, it feels as though they got it. Which is more than I can say for a lot of video game adaptations. Like, I think I was mostly just going off of sort of more anime-style credit artwork. I was just like, Yes, I would like to see more of this. It has been a while since I've seen Detective Pikachu, though. I'm just sort of wondering what sort of Pokemon movies I should watch in preparation for when I eventually stream Yellow Legacy, because I've been looking forward to that. Remember, Shadow, this is a stealth mission. Oh, you're lucky I don't have Team Blast. Actually... There we go. Just so I have it for later. Let's get this key so we can go play bingo on the table. Ah yes, and right here we actually get introductions to the metal enemies. I'm fairly certain they're introduced a lot later in the other playthroughs. Like I think they're introduced in like Hand Castle for Team Sonic, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong. Anyways, there's bingo on the table. I'm fairly certain it is possible to actually get full bingo here, but I've never done it. And honestly, I'm more sort of content to just make our way through this. Also, I've always noticed with Omega, he always just has one foot out when he's spinning. So it sort of looks like just a this little thing just spinning around. Get in there. On all enemies metal, well, more sturdy metal, which actually there's a good point. With how Sonic & Co. just constantly just barrel for all these robots, you would think that Robotnik's Badniks are all made of tinfoil. And maybe they are. It's like, what if I actually used metal instead of just tinfoil? I don't know, though. It's quite expensive, and I spent all my money on this egg fleet of mine, so I'm going to have to be frugal about it. Let's just have all the metal enemies go after Shadow, because he seems like the more dangerous threat. At least that's what I'm guessing is going through Robotnik's mind at the moment. It's like, yes, let's just design this next robot after jellyfish. They'll never expect the jellyfish this time. Honestly, this level... The most memories I have of this level, weirdly enough, are the multiplayer version, which is mostly just, from what I recall, just the race at the end. Oh. So that's how the time stop works. It can even hold gravity. Except when it doesn't. Get out of here, you. I have the power to abuse Team Blast. You don't have a prayer. And so, hey, the door actually opens for us. For once. Danger. Yeah, we'll save, though, unless you Team Rose. I'm guessing that getting the key in this level is gonna be quite the tall order, considering... Once again, just nothing but bottomless pits. I still don't get why Sonic Team still keeps doing this, just... In all their games, just having small runways over bottomless pits. Like, I'm sure a couple of bottomless pits here and there in more dangerous areas, sure. Like, I'm pretty sure there are even bottomless pits in Mario Odyssey, but... Not to this extent. Not sure why I immediately went to Mario Odyssey. I guess because it was a good example of what a platformer nowadays should be, question mark? At least that's what I reckon. At least that's what I figure. I will say though, this is going surprisingly smoothly. I was expecting Team Doc to be a little bit more difficult. Hold on, let me just get rid of all these enemies real quick. Get out of here, you. Now observe as I use and abuse my chaos powers and the power of Team Blast. 300 rings and there's nothing to do with them. So far so good, though. We haven't taken a single hit, and I don't think we can get hit here without falling to our deaths. Here's hoping that Rouge doesn't. It all depends on you in order to get to aerial bingo. Bingo on the table, in the sky. What did I just say? Yeah. It's always tense going for this particular segment, because it feels as though at times you can lose control of your movements. Realize there's nearly 20 years separating. Yeah, I know. Just... I guess my sensibilities have changed in that time. A lot less tolerant to a lot of these more questionable game designs, which Sonic Team still partakes in, as far as I'm aware. Ah yes, and now we're stuck in this section, the Forever Box, where it's up to me to eventually break through into the goal ring, except it's barred by everything under the sun. Excuse me while I take forever on this. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. It's not the most frustrating thing, just one of those more questionable design decisions. Almost there. Yay, we win. Sonic characters are built different when fighting robots. Yeah, you'd think that they wouldn't be able to do much with those pipe cleanlings, but I guess they can always prove you wrong. Anyways, let's get ourselves a Chaos Emerald. Frontiers isn't as bad. I still have some inklings with Frontiers, but with regards to the bottomless pit thing, with regards to the overworld at least, yeah, I'll give you that. Would definitely prefer to have more, I suppose, original / better design levels in the future for like the cyberspace segments or action stages, question mark. Alright, I'm not entirely certain as to where we're going to catch this Chaos Emerald, but we will certainly try. Never mind. Not nearly as dumb as the Frontier Pinball section. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I was just thinking, oh, it would be neat if I streamed Frontiers at one point. It's like, oh yeah, the pinball segment. The segment that nearly broke me with regards to the Frontiers, because I was stuck on that for the first time for ages. Anyways, it's time to beat up more robots.
Doctor!
Tell me, Doctor, what was I doing? Asleep on that base? And what about my memory?
Your memory? What memory?
You'll have no past, Shadow! I would elaborate further on how you're actually my robotic servant, but I'm just gonna throw a whole bunch of my other robotic servants at you. Have fun! Kinda weird for Robotnik to just straight up not clarify. I'm guessing they wanted to keep a little bit of a mystery on that, but at the same time, just... You'd think with Robotnik flying around and taunting you, he'd be able to clarify a little bit more. It's like, what do you mean I have no past? Oh, didn't I tell you? You're an android, Shadow. I made you in a lab with a box of scraps. Shadow, this is the third or fourth time you've asked about your traumatic past. No, frankly, I don't care. Yeah, pretty much. Time to abuse this to high heaven. And just like that, I have Team Blast back. Why did Robotnik program Robot Shadow have vague recollections of his traumatic past? I guess because he thought it was funny? I don't know. That is a good question, though. Yes, observe as I can just abuse Chaos Inferno all over and over and over again. This is ridiculous. Needless to say, these robot hordes boss fights are the easiest with Team Dark because you can just do this. At least you could do this on the GameCube version, which I think honestly may be my preferred version. Because you can just use this to skip a whole bunch of the game's less savory parts. I will say that this definitely does feel like Shadow was never supposed to return after Adventure 2 because he was super— yeah, I know. And that— oh, my cow actually wanted Shadow back. That's interesting. I'd have thought he'd he'd be the one to respect most of the prospect of keeping Shadow dead, but I guess not. I mean, I'm not entirely certain as to what they're gonna do with Shadow next, aside from having him straight replace Tails and all the promotional material. It's just like, between a lot of the promotional material I've seen for stuff like, I think it was Sonic Blitz, and the movies especially, nobody cares about Tails anymore. I mean, I do, but I'm old and I remember when Tails was a good character. I think I did it too early. Yep. Let's try this again. I know this is technically an exploit, but I don't care. Stop this senseless fight! Oh, and rushing us with a whole bunch of egg, what are they calling those? Knights? Bishops? I'm guessing they're egg knights. Just like more buff versions of the standard pawns. Oh. Did that in under 2 minutes, allegedly. It felt like ages, though. Oh, they could apparently do that in an even shorter time than that. That's, I guess, the power of chaos control. Ah, yes, good old Rail Canyon from Shad Gen. I'll be honest, I did quite enjoy the version of Rail Canyon we got in Shad Gen. It was one of those things where I kind of wish we just had more, if that makes more sense. I suppose it's one of those weird quandaries, because it feels as though they don't necessarily have enough resources in order to really get all these good levels in, but I guess it's mostly just because Shadgen was more of a side project, as opposed to normal Generations, which is a bit more substantial. It'll be interesting to see— maybe just me, but it really feels as though a lot of Sonic stuff to do with Sonic Team is just riding on this next Sonic game. Like everything they learned from Frontiers and Shadgen, and how's that gonna affect the new game which is coming out, which we still haven't heard anything about, and the whole prophecy I had about new Sonic games just being anniversary titles from now on because of how long they take to come out. Whilst I am hoping it's good, it's more so the case that it feels like a lot of expectations are riding on it, where it easily feels as though if they mess up, then Sonic will just be back down in the gutter again like he was back in the 2010s. At least that's how it feels to me. Look at all these Eggman's robots. Yeah, unfortunately, Team Dark's voice lines aren't exactly as memorable to a lot of the wider audience, but I guess it's mostly just because nobody really in their right mind plays Team Dark, unless they're sort of hardcore into the series, and even then, there's not necessarily that many funny lines, if that makes sense. There's nothing like Tails just going, "Wow, my head's spinning." Nothing like that. I always find it weird in the Team Dark version that there's no train coming down here. It's just... Yep, it's just one train as opposed to the usual two. Get out of here. Get out of here, Flapper.
Doesn't look like we'll be able to move on.
No problem. Let's get moving. Just watch this.
Just thinking in terms of what other levels I would have liked to have seen in Shadgen, because it has been a while since I went through it, and while I was excited, I'm not entirely certain I have mixed feelings about it nowadays. Like, it's definitely the strongest game we've gotten in like a long time, but I think that's mostly just to do with the fact that it's generations. You really call yourself a Team Dark fan and you didn't unlock all 10 endings of Shadow the Hedgehog? I did, though. We're gonna be streaming Shadow the Hedgehog later this year. You know, just 20th anniversary and whatnot. It seemed prudent to do so then. I don't remember all these weird and wacky chains being in Rail Canyon and Shadgen, though. It's kind of a shame. Get over here, Rouge. I need you to bypass the level for me. Just like that. Yes. One thing I do sort of appreciate is that there are plenty of opportunities for skips, if you know what you're doing, but again, this is just another level which is just over a massive bottomless pit. So, swings and roundabouts, I suppose. Oh, I just noticed that there. It's just it just leads into nothing. I guess I'm more just sort of used to the Team Chaotix version of this level, where you just keep going that way.
Eggman's robots must be eliminated.
Just watch this.
Annihilate.
I liked that game as a kid, and even though I said, no, I'm not doing that, I'll play Halo. I mean, getting all 10 endings wasn't that bad, at least compared to getting all, like, 380-something. It's like, just getting the necessary 10 endings you need doesn't feel nearly as bad as trying to 100% Shadow the Hedgehog, I'll just say that much. It's up there with games like Crash 4 just being a test of abject misery. Wouldn't recommend.
There's someone there.
Yes, there is someone here. I know there's not. I have... Part of me keeps forgetting I have triangle jump in situations like this. Do not care for replaying some of those levels. I getcha. I still have harrowing memories of the Doom. I'll probably get more into it once we actually get into Shadow of the Hedgehog, but let's just say... I never liked that level, for a multitude of reasons. Favorite level would I'd say was Lava Shelter. I guess it just felt the most Sonic-y to me, and it felt like something that I would see in this game. Which I feel just in terms of, again, aesthetic is sort of the standard I feel should be. But I guess we're just going with Sonic and Unreal Engine if Frontier's anything to go by. Because apparently that's what everybody wanted. As opposed to the series having a unique visual identity. Or really any unique identity. This is like 20%. Spyro Dragon PC Remaster support makes some jumps impossible to turn off without VSync. Really? That's well, I can't say I'm surprised given all these sort of early PC ports. The PC remaster, though. I was just thinking more sort of in terms of Gearbox ports of stuff like, well, this game, or the adventure titles, or Riders, or... Misread chat a little bit is what I'm trying to get at. I'll just grab this key in vain, because I expect to get hit at some point. Which way is the cannon facing? Does it matter? It's facing in all directions. Curiously, it was only the first of the free games. Yeah, that's kind of curious. Because I don't think I played all that much of the Spyro games, in all honesty. Just got into the mindset of, oh, I kind of have to 100% these, and just... The prospect of that just sort of didn't really sit well with me, in all honesty. I think it's more so just of how the mind is feeling the impulsiveness to 100% something, even though it's not exactly healthy in a lot of ways, especially considering a lot of these games. I guess it's more just sort of an envy factor, to be perfectly honest, where it's just like, oh, looking online, it's like, oh, look at all this stuff, which, in all these games, which you haven't gone to, and it's just like, damn. I gotta go see that now. I gotta go see that every time I do this, even though it's probably not the most advised. This is like the perfect opportunity for Omega to just go careening off the stage, so I'm gonna switch to Shadow. Alright, let's see which... Okay, that's the wrong switch. That's the right switch. I do appreciate that they, at the very least, did give a little bit of representation to Bullet Station in Shadgen. Do kind of... This is one of the levels which I do kind of wish was a bit more vibrant, though, as opposed to just splattering camo paint everywhere. I suppose it's thematically accurate, except surely at the very least some sort of desert camo would make more sense. In fact, why is all this stuff even camouflaged? Because Robotnik, as far as I'm aware, is not exactly one for subtlety. In games where I didn't try 100% video games, not one of my own... No one in my own industry started to get... Oh, that's a mood and a half. Well, there goes the key. Yeah, that's definitely a mood and a half, trying to actually catch them all. Like, especially back in the day, where it's just like... It's impossible to catch them all anyway, because there's no way you're going to be able to get Celebi. Because it's only available in Japan. Because they thought that they'd do that as sort of some kind of cruel and unusual joke, I guess. I never got why they did that in Gen 3. It was like, you gotta catch them all, except not really, because... It's impossible for you to catch Celebi if you're in the West, and Jirachi if you're in Japan. At least I think, unless you really want to count sort of special events, because likely they were all over the place in Japan. As opposed to me, who never got to visit a Toys R Us, and never had an e-reader. I guess just British Pokemon fans back in the day were royally shafted. At least until Wi-Fi came around. Oh, my elementary still heard Digimon to... Oh. Yeah, I getcha. Honestly, I feel that I missed an opportunity getting more into Digimon, because I remember watching a fair bit of Digimon Tamers when I was a kid, and I kind of wish I got an opportunity to find out more about that, because I know it's had a bit of a cult following online, at the very least, mostly just because of Renamon. A little bit scary, you say. All of a sudden, that's why they dropped the tagline. Oh, so they did drop the tagline. Ah, it's like they were aware. It's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to catch them all. So just try and catch a lot, except not really, because we've gotten rid of the national decks. So have fun with that, peasants. Get out of here, you. I never realized as a kid you could actually destroy those slabs as the power type character. Anyways, now it's time for the hardest part of the level. Trying not to die. Because there's no checkpoints on the train coming up. Digimon team is ready to did the mech anime. Big oh, they did Big O. I mean, I've heard of Big O in that I've heard the name Big O. Let's not talk about Redmon. This is a good Christian stream. Ah yes, only the most Christian stream here with me looking like this. Genfreon does not have the tagline. Ah, okay. Because let's face it, it's pretty much impossible to catch all the Pokemon in Gen 3, because obviously, assuming that you do still have all the event stuff for, you know, Deoxys and a copy of the Coliseum bonus disc of Pokemon Channel for Jirachi, you're still not going to be able to get Celebi unless... Now, I suppose nowadays you could potentially get the... I could potentially get the Japanese bonus disc, which supposedly does have Celebi on it, though. I'll probably have to look into that, actually. It's like I may have stumbled across something that my dark powers did not foresee. The dark powers of the Time Cube, because that's apparently what we're going with. Yeah, this particular bobsled section always messed me up as a kid, probably just because of that particular laser gate there. Still got hit anyway. Good stuff. Run this is way better. Didn't really know about Big O, just saw random episodes of Adam Tsunami. I wish I'd seen more of Toonami, because the main thing that I remember about Toonami are like Dragon Ball Z, Samurai Jack. I think Beyblade was somewhere else, and Clone Wars, I think was the other one. Yeah. The good Clone Wars TV show. Kind of surprised they've held on to this key for so long, and yet I never managed to do so with Team Sonic. Guess I just must have been in the zone, I guess. Once again, made out of papier-mâché and dreams.
Chaos control.
Destroying more military installations, you're starting to remind me 50 years back.
Piece of cake.
Blades was... I don't remember it being 4 kids, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean... I know a lot of people, Sonic fans, that have had mixed opinions on 4 kids in the past, at least when I was growing up, but... Considering at the very least the early Pokemon anime, I can't necessarily stay mad at them. It's like, you did this thing which I enjoyed, so I can't necessarily hate you for it. I mean, plus a lot of the voices nowadays just sort of become the sort of mainstays for a lot of people. There's just so many people just consider Griffith to be the default Sonic voice nowadays. It's kind of crazy that way. For some reason it feels like we go faster when we're on the ceiling, even though it's probably ill-advised. There's no orbs on the top on the ceiling. Words. There we go, there's that damn 4th Chaos Emerald. We technically got it. Technically. Howdy, Cooper. We're just about to die to the Egg Albatross. Still convinced at this point that this is probably the toughest boss fight outside of Team Chaotix's Robot Storm. Because I'm not entirely certain you can Team Blast a set group of enemies there. Yes, you can kill him, Omega. I don't care if he lives or dies. Boys, oh. Veronica Taylor was in Ape Escape 2. That's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, so yeah, this is like the one instance where having no power cores on your power type character actually does benefit. Get over here, you. I want to punch you. I'm gonna punch you. This is like the one thing Omega's good for. You don't need to tell me twice, Rouge, but in the Stone Age. I still don't get what that's referencing. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Yeah, just gonna, just casually peck away at it right here. I'm just gonna skip the power core. Just gonna be brutally honest. Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need power here where we're going, because we could just run into it and hit it a whole bunch. This is actually more optimal than having power cores on Omega, I've just realized. How weird is that? Obviously, I'm probably going to be better off just spamming homing attack, but this feels safer. At least for the moment. Look at that. 19 health. It was worth it. What would your team be called? I have no team, because I always work alone. The team would comprise of me, myself, and I. I do find something like, honestly, I kind of want to say Team Woundwort or Team Bigwig. Mostly because I figured it could be kind of funny, though. There we go, got Hedgehog. Get over here, you. Is that it? Is that all you have to show, Robotnik? Get over here, it's time for you. You'd use yourself as boxing gloves. Or, you know, I could just throw myself at the enemy like Team Chaotix does. Or Team Rose. It doesn't necessarily have to be boxing gloves all the time.
Who I am, Doctor?
Mike Paul was in Kinnikuman Nissi. Ah! I will shake my fist at you in a suggestive manner. Shadow. Android? Am I an android too?
Let's go.
And nothing else was said about that until the very end. Also, Metal Sonic is here. That's a lethal attack with that model. Well, yeah, it would have to be. How else am I gonna break through all these, tinfoil robots? There's a joke, but it's not PG. Yes, I shall find the answer, but not in this game. It's time to waste time for a whole bunch more levels.
There are supposed to be frogs in this jungle that can summon rain. This is a bit too much.
I'm guessing it's more so a thing about Japanese folklore about frogs being associated with rain, because I think Pokemon does this as well. Heck, I think Rayman does this as well with Glowbox using Rain Dance in one of the levels in Rayman 2. Just kind of weird thing about frogs just being associated with being able to summon rain. I never really got where that came from, in all honesty. It'd probably have to be something I look into for next stream, because I imagine that would be very funny for Big to be able to summon rain wherever he goes. Also, using Omega here is going to prove very perilous. You better stop hitting me in like 5 minutes. What about 6 minutes? Can I bargain you down to 6? Yeah, it feels like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. This is safer than flinging myself off the edge as Omega. I can punch you, though, at the very least. Screw that guy. And that guy in particular. I thought I could go up there. Let's call it an even 20. Deal. Okay, that was surprisingly simple. Just don't have to... See, that's what I mean about Omega not being the best power type character. Because he can if you just slightly nudge the control stick, you can go just flinging off of the level. Nope, you're not taking me off. Why are we struggling on this level? So much for not throwing yourself off this. Exactly. Come on, Omega, I'm gonna need your help here. Wait. How powerful are those dummy rings? Come on, Omega, up on your feet. On your feet, soldier. Ninja frogs can summon rain. I suppose that's another thing as well, just the affinity with ninjas and frogs. Because the one thing that really comes to mind, I think, is like Naruto. That and in 14, you could just summon a frog that breathes fire. And there's also like Greninja. Oh yeah, that turtle robot is just dead. I have time to wait for the frog to notice us, because, again, frogs are affected by time. I don't have to deal with you. Shadow, you had one job. Yeah, I always quite, despite all the bottomless pits we're coming across, I was always quite fond of this level in terms of the very least just its visuals and its music. Just very calming atmosphere, and also just look at that background. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the last time I streamed this game, but just it really just feels as though that background just goes on forever. It's mesmerizing. It feels weird hearing Omega say, guys, look, it's Wonderland 4 of the Game Boy Advance. Do you remember the Virtual Boy? Incredible. You'll remember Wario Land. Omega, what the hell are you talking about? I think Rouge is malfunctioning. Yeah, I'm just not gonna risk it and go into the nice area with the glowing mushrooms, which hopefully aren't poisonous. There's just something about a lot of these old Sonic levels which, to me at least, just feels so memorable and iconic in how they look. Like, obviously we're not gonna get something like that from how Drab Forces looks, or Frontiers. Omega, Eggman stuck a magnet to Omega again. In your own time, Frog. Kairukun. Yeah, it's gonna be weird going back through, Adventure 1 again with the English vocals, because I'm so used to the Japanese at this point. Boing. Boing. Can I actually get over there with Rouge? Yes, I can! And yet there's nothing to actually allow me to get over there. Great. Ah yes, flying vegetation. Can't get over it was just the froggy model from Sonic Adventure scaled up. Yeah, it pretty much is. I always thought that was funny as well, except he doesn't have the tail. It's just good old standard froggy. I guess it's just weirdly just one of those things that I felt just helped connect the whole all the games together a little bit more. It's just like, oh, it's the same sort of frogs that we saw in Adventure, or at least I did back in Adventure DX. It is a very good question as to what I plan on streaming next, because probably should put out a poll, because there's a lot of stuff I want to get through. There's Adventure DX, there's Frontiers, there's Colors. Because I think I can stream Colors and maybe more of the DS games. Feels like the world's my oyster at this point. Maybe even try out one of the Olympic games, see if I can suffer. It wasn't Froggy's Tail because he ate a portion of chaos? Yeah. He just swallowed a bit of, almost a little bit of chaos just slipped into him, and that portion of chaos started controlling him and making him eat chaos emeralds. It is kind of bizarre when I put it like that, but I suppose people tend to forget how bizarre this series can be at times. Not that that's a bad thing, just it's something that I generally just sort of tend to miss, I've noticed. Also, I just noticed I haven't actually taken damage throughout this whole thing. Get out of here, you. Also, why Sega's never released a Shoutgun mobile. I've been wondering that too. Like, I was thinking, like, this whole Chow Tales thing they were coming out with. Surely that's going to be used to promote some kind of Chow-related thing, like a mobile Chow Garden app or a new game with a Chow Garden in it. And nope, it was just to do with Chows, even though there hasn't been a Chow Garden since Sonic Superstars on the iToy. In like 2004. Or was it 2005, actually? But yeah, I don't see it happening in the near future. If it hasn't happened yet, it won't happen for like a long time.
I can do better.
Alright, here we go. Lost Jungle. My favorite level. Kind of like the Olympic Games game on the Switch that's got the karate event where you can punch Bowser Jr. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fond memories actually, so I'm kind of wondering which one of the Olympic Games I should go through, because I think, technically speaking, I could potentially... I'd have to see how I can actually manage to get the games to work without a Wiimote, because I imagine setting up a Wiimote is going to be fairly awkward. Especially ones which haven't seen much use and don't have the Wii Motion Plus attached to them. It's going to be a very interesting time. Indie game I played last year is once one to Chow God. I think I've heard of similar stuff like that. I may need reminding on the title, because I think I might have seen something similar on Steam at one point. Also, why? You swing so slowly on this. There's no way I'm going to be able to get any of the spheres. What are you making me do, game? Alright, enough of that. Let's go and get bombarded by mines from the Dark Chow. I always find it kind of weird that it's always normal Chow and Dark Chow in these sort of promotional stuff. Like, you have the Chow Walker and the Dark Chow Walker in Adventure 2 Battle as well. And yet Hero Chows seemingly always get shafted. I wonder why that is. Setting up a Wiimote should be fine as long as you have a sensor bar and it. Yeah, that's right. I should probably try and find an adapter, or I could probably just try and stream them with the Elgato, because I still have my Wii U. It's just a matter of finding the 2012 Olympic Games, because for some reason I never got that one. Which is kind of a shame, because it looked fairly good. And the Olympic Games stuff really started to feel like it had a lot of promise behind it after Vancouver 2010. I haven't really heard anything about Sochi 2014 or Rio 2016 though. I wonder if this will be when we start getting the egg hammers with the helmets, because this is the level where I feel across all the teams that this is where the egg hammers get introduced. I'll see if I can hold on to this 5th Chaos Emerald this 5th Chaos Emerald key. I never got what was the whole thing about this this point in the series and assuming and associating the Chaos Emeralds with keys. I know it's in Frontiers as well. I'm just thinking stuff like Advanced 3 as well, where you need to get a special Chow key in order to enter the special stage. We had to fly in the tornado against horrible depth perception.
There's that black.
Chaos control.
Yes, the evil frog.
I'll take it from here.
And just like that, you can pretty much bypass the evil frogs.
Power formation, Omega.
Oh yeah, I think this level introduces reinforced spiked flappers, which is kind of an interesting combo. Kind of feels unique, actually, to this particular playthrough. It feels as though Team Dark generally fights a lot of... Oh, I think something went wrong on my end. Oh. Game. Game. I can't see anything. Up. Up. Yeah, something appears to have gone wrong. And it's just a black screen on my end. Why are you doing this to me, Dolph? Legitimate GameCube. It's like when I tab out, it's fine, but... This is strange and unusual behavior. I think I might have to restart, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting. The capture's still working, but it's just the actual game itself is not. Give me a second. I think we may have to go through Frog Forest again. Up. Okay, seems to be working, at least on my end. Though it's kind of weird that OBS is frozen up for me as well, so... Anything could potentially happen here. Anyways, let's get back to, let's get back to the Froggy Forest. Good old Sonic Heroes, eh? I'm hoping that that's not going to be a recurring thing, because I'd very much like to get this done as soon as possible, and we... get through the forest where the wild animals live, I just noticed. So apparently there's not just frogs in here. I want to say rush through this, but... that's likely just going to lead to more deaths. So let's just try and get through this as best we can, eh? No fooling around, just no frills, just get through this as quickly as possible because I know what I'm doing now. Don't bother with the enemies, just go. Hopefully this isn't going to be a recurring thing, because I specifically picked this method of streaming heroes because I didn't want to deal with the input lag from Elgato. Starting to think maybe that wasn't exactly the best choice. Shadow, doesn't it feel like sometimes you get this feeling of called deja vu? I get that feeling all the time. Oh wait, this is Heroes. I don't experience deja vu at all, Rouge, because as far as I'm aware, I haven't experienced anything before, because I have no past. Frogs with crowful, real-life poisonous frogs, but also very poisoned. Yeah, that's a very good question, considering the nature of frogs. Would that make Shadow poisonous? Would that make Sonic poisonous? Would that make Knuckles poisonous? How many characters in the Sonic cast are poisonous? Because it feels like it could be most, if not all of them. Including Robotnik, as far as I'm aware, considering all the toxic waste he apparently dumps out, going by Western lore.
I'll take it from here. Naturally.
I'll take it from here.
Mammals don't use poison or venom. Unless they're the platypus, in which case they do. Exactly, platypuses have venom. Which is why you don't want to mess with Dr. Starline when he has the symbiote suit on. It's game over.
Useless heaps of metal. Chaos control.
It may just be me, but especially when it comes to levels like this, I kind of feel as though the Rocket Excel's kind of useless, considering you can very easily just get up to speed normally quite easily. Fellow platypus facts, no, exactly. I played Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. I know a great deal about platypuses, more than I should. Get out of here, Gold Turtle. We got places to be. We're not supposed to be in this level still. That's a good question, actually. When am I gonna stream Ty Free? Because I've already streamed the past 2 games. Because technically this year would be Night of the Quinken's 20th anniversary. Just a lot of stuff came out in 2005. Sonic Rush, Shadow the Hedgehog, XD Gale of Darkness. Also planning on streaming that at some point. Feels like I got my work cut out ahead for me, just in terms of all these games I got to go through. Frog was a little slow on the uptake. Well, to be fair, he was probably trapped in my world of frozen time. Did buy the release in Steam, but didn't want to find out if it was a bad port. I mean, going through it, I'd generally say, for the most part, it is the definitive way to play the Ty games at this point. Though a lot of the more modern graphical additions they added were more so, I feel, just done in this, without really much regard to the art style. It doesn't look too terrible, just highly noticeable in some areas. Perry the Platypus being green is a scientific fact. They can turn green under ultraviolet light. Ooh. Platypus is just super strange. It also reminds me, I did try out Bladekin a little bit, but I think I may need to go through it again a little, because I don't think I was really clicking with me, to be perfectly honest. Oh yeah, platypuses can lay eggs, indeed they can. Let's do this again, and hopefully the game doesn't black out again. Oh, we're back in the swamp, donkey! This is my home, donkey! That just sort of reminds me of just growing up as more of a GameCube kid. I know a lot of people enjoyed the Shrek 2 game, but me personally, we got Shrek Extra Large. The one Shrek game that nobody talks about, and I think for good reason. Why would Capcom do this? It even points out Perry being green is the root green is. Ah, interesting. Then again, I never did watch much of Phineas and Ferb. That was sort of after my time. I was more sort of an Ed, Edd and Eddy kid myself. Never thought I'd hear Blake and mentioned years upon years later. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Nobody seems to talk about it. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Too bad, Black Frog. I win again. Yeah, it always feels as though the flight gauge is still feels it's a lot smaller than it needs to be. There's a creator owns that I'm sure we'll get a reboot anytime soon. Good. Just means that I get to enjoy the original version Ultimate all this time later. It's like you can't improve upon perfection. Especially nowadays, when perfection is especially impossible. It's normally impossible, but nowadays especially. Anyways, let's see what you do, Mr. Frog. Mr. Froge. Looking back, that's a very... Yeah, I get that the art style isn't exactly up to everybody's particular tastes. How weak they must be. Love that. Oh yeah, I love that particular line from Omega. It's just like, so much contempt for his fellow robots. It's like, you are all of you beneath me. Yeah, there's the spiked reinforced flapper. I know that was in here. Oh, there's a key over there, but we don't need one at the moment. Still not certain we're going to be getting the 5th Chaos Emerald this time around, but at the very least, we can try our best. And we're probably not at the noisy line art, which would be a detriment. Yeah, exactly. You're pretty much... I have a feeling it would just go the same way as the Powerpuff Girls remake, which nobody liked. And in that case, I'm fine with them just leaving it well enough alone. Along with a lot of things, for that matter. I'm still feeling at the point where I can just enjoy all this past stuff without having to ask for remakes. Like, sure, there's the whole wanting, future generations to experience all this stuff, but I guess it's more just sort of a means of improving availability. Which I don't think is good. Is still something which probably won't be solved until the end of time, because of course, this is a game that I already got like years ago, and I'd have to pay money just to buy it again, just like a Nintendo thing. Ooh, I didn't realize you could actually just do this to skip that entire segment. Or most of it. Get out of my way. Crew would agree, thin lines. Oh, how horrible. Yeah, so far though, this oh. I flummoxed you, Black Frog, once again. But yeah, so far this particular run for Lost Jungle is going surprisingly smoothly. I'm sure it's going to be completely flummoxed by this segment at the end, but... wait and see. Reavailability will mean Nintendo has to stop propping them up whenever emulators are mentioned. Yeah, exactly. But then Nintendo wouldn't be able to make you buy back your memories again, so... Spineless creatures, unlike this alligator, which apparently does have a spine, and a pretty big spine at that. Omega, do you have a spine? I'm a cybernetic organism. See, he has a spine. Hey Rouge, do you have a spine? You must have a pretty powerful one. Yeah, Shadow, can we not do this right now? Well, it's just because someone bet they created Dan that he couldn't make a kid's show. Oh, so it was more so the case that he won a bet. Wow. Also, the last Cartoon Network showed you sell. Oh man, a dying breed. Anyways, let's see if we can get the 5th Chaos Emerald. After that small setback, Earth in this setting has a serious problem with animal gigantism. Yeah, it's just like Dragon Ball with its dinosaurs. In fact, are there dinosaurs in this universe? I mean, apparently there's dinosaurs in the Arabian Nights, so I guess anything's possible. No, we can't let the chaos... We can't let the raspberry blue, cool, minty, fresh Chaos Emerald get away. After it! Oh. Well, that's the 5th Chaos Emerald. Only 3 more, technically speaking. Obviously the last Chaos... Hey Root, do you think those 3 have spines? Shadow, I mean, depends on what you mean by spines, as in the spines on their back or the spines in their backs. Hey, it sounds like they're talking about spines up there. This is the stent color Chaos Emerald. Yeah, that is quite an interesting quandary. As to whether I am blue or whether I am purple.
We have a date with Eggman too.
Is that
Hey Sonic, how about we reiterate that line that Ian Flynn's gonna quote 20 years later? Yeah, sure, that sounds fun. Love that little smirk. Anyways, it's time to get beat up by the objectively better team. Eventually.
Not the best way to greet those you haven't seen in a while.
Doesn't sound the best way to greet those you haven't seen in a while, Shadow. Old chum. Oh yeah, you could just do this. Ultimate power! Unlimited power! Tails, can you stop? You're making me look... Oh, it's already over. How many times have they changed the Emerald's colors? I mean, it's been fairly consistent ever since Adventure 1 came out, so I can only assume... Hey, Shadow, old chum. I don't know, I always feel compelled to do that whenever I do my Sonic voice. Or whatever counts as my Sonic voice nowadays. Sonic is immediately shocked with it. Yep, that's the Shadow way, apparently. But yeah, it is kind of interesting how they never could, also this particular bit of music is kind of unique to this particular segment.
Never mind. Let's go. That blue hedgehog like me.
Is he also a spine?
Say about my memory. And just who am I?
But yeah, you got the standard emerald colors in Sonic 1. Then you got the emeralds in Sonic 2, which are hexagonal. Then you got the Sonic 3 colors, which I think are more sort of the standard ones, but then again there's a few for little sort of oddities, like Sonic the Fighters obviously is the standout one with its 8 Chaos Emeralds. Have fun figuring that out, Flynn.
Just watch this.
Because apparently, as far as I'm aware, part of old Sonic lore before Adventure was that all the various islands Sonic goes to has their own particular unique sets of Chaos Emeralds, which is why they all look different, but
The upside down castle is flipping.
obviously that's another detail about classic Sonic lore which they left behind, along with Mighty and Ray. And the prospect of whatever South Island is.
Why don't we do a lower route?
Of course there's Roberts in here. They're called emeralds, the only two are green. Well, I know. Chaos Emeralds, I guess, just sounded cool. As opposed to, I don't know, Dimension Diamonds? Diamond Dogs? Gravity Sapphires? Anarchy Barrel? Nah, that would never be a real thing. Anarchy... What kind of a name is Anarchy Barrel? That sounds positively ridiculous. Chaos Diamonds, or Chaos Ranchers in all honesty, because in a lot of games they just look like Jolly Ranchers. Or like they're made out of plastic. Out of my way. The Disorder Diamonds. Ah, the Discord Diamonds. It's a new feature that they added to in order to get you to buy Nitro. Because they desperately want you to buy Nitro for whatever reason, when really all people want to do is just chat and occasionally video call, as opposed to just having to deal with all these bells and whistles. Discourse geodes. Oh yeah, that's right, the Thunder Eggs were technically geodes at Galaxy Gas. That just sounds like something from a Nickelodeon TV show, in all honesty. Galaxy Gas. And it's like all of a sudden I was just struggling for commentary, and I was like, lo and behold. Inwards, there we go. This pole takes forever to raise up. And you got this cool camera angle showing you the moon, which isn't broken in half. Have fun figuring that out, Flynn. Like, oh, it's just angled on the wrong side. That's not how the moon works, Ian. Fancy guesses when you eat Nickelodeon slime past its vapor points. Yep. You gotta get that gack gas. Because that's the sort of name that I've heard it being called in the past, just Nickelodeon gack. It just feels as though I missed a lot with them not really tuning into Nickelodeon, because I know a lot of people have a lot of fond memories of stuff like Jimmy Neutron. I feel I would have really liked that particular series, because I've seen some of Steve Odenkirk's other works, mostly just Fun Wars. Especially Fun Wars as a kid, and it was just like, yes, I too could appreciate this sort of humor. You know, this alongside stuff like Kung Pao. I actually got that on DVD, I haven't watched it yet, I probably should later.
This is the ultimate power.
Out of my way. Of course, you could just jump this. I always get this level mixed up with Crypticast and the fact that I keep thinking there's switches to the doors in the walls. And yet, in one level there isn't, and in one level there is. Away with you, child. Cartoon was... I don't think Kung Pao wasn't a cartoon, it was just a parody of an old martial arts flick. It's where the cow fight that everybody had on their Nokias came from back in the day. Because apparently that's how it was, just everybody who had a Nokia just had that cow fight on their phone. On their brick phone.
What?
I'll take it from here. Okay.
Also, it's fairly certain you could do a fair bit of jank with the power type characters, or maybe just thinking of Dash Heroes, a ROM hack a friend of mine is working on. For the PC version, at the very least. Ooh, I need speed for this, apparently. Well, that was a well-valued spent use of speed formation right there.
This is the ultimate power.
The ultimate power! The power of many! Omega, did you let him watch Disney Plus? Yeah. He wanted to watch the funny Disney movies, so I let him have at it. He wanted to watch Revenge of the Sith, but it wasn't on there. Because we forgot to go see it in the theaters. What even is this bit anymore? I have no idea, Rouge. I'm just here to do the funny sounds and the funny voices with my non-existent mouth. Yeah. I'm never gonna live giving Omega the Arnold voice in Chronicles, am I? Why is Omega Bond to put the emerald back inside Omega's emerald slot? That's a very good question, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know what it is, but I think going back to like the demo/beta version of Sonic Heroes, hearing Omega without his voice synthesizer, for some reason he always sounded like Buzz Lightyear to me. A very monotone Buzz Lightyear. Also, I never really got why people liked this particular sort of air dash as compared to the adventure ones, because it feels more like a liability where you could just easily just careen yourself off of platforms if you're not careful.
Small foothold in the middle detected.
There's someone there. Look out.
Look out! Oh yeah, this particular segment is just unique for Team Dark for some reason. For some reason, Team Sonic just doesn't have this little segment of them just entering through this door into the mansion.
Right.
Never got why. His gem hole. Oh boy, it's time for more Mystic Mansion.
This proves my power.
Yeah, this proves that I am the strongest, even though I'm like teeny tiny man. Can we switch him off, Shadow? I don't think we can, Rouge, not without him killing us. Or killing you at the very least. Oh, starting right off with an egg hammer, nice. Still don't get why there's a portrait of Wave Ocean here.
There must be a switch for this.
Ah. Actually making use of those target switches. For some reason I kept calling them ball switches, even though that's the standard switch. Alright, gonna need Omega for this. I do appreciate at the very least, coming back to this, that they at the very least do mix up some of the areas a little bit, just to sort of trip you up a little. Obviously I still wouldn't recommend doing this in one long sitting, but still. Just sort of adds to a more sort of fresh experience each time. Out of the way. This Mega Man Fang, I love that Omega fires out of his arm like a... Well, yeah. Got the funny arm cannons. Come on, up we go. Alright, this is the Egg Wizard, which can just trap you in a ring of pain. And eat up all your rings. It's always advisable not to get those guys on side. Sonic is out of my way. They're gonna develop this game of conscientious and engage in asset recycling. Well, yeah, he's got his Robotnik's got a save face, remember? Apparently, because of course Robotnik's most well-known trait is subtlety, as we all know. Get out of my way, ghosties. I kind of forgot how trippy these segments are, with just the floors and the walls just spiraling around you. Just... I'm not sure I should be one to be questioning the architecture of this place. Is this sort of, a case of, it looks cool now, shush. Ah, the first instance of the red torches. My favorite part of this level. He also has to commission artwork of his own robot minions. I mean, knowing Robotnik, he'd probably just get AI to do it, in all honesty. He seems like the sort who'd use AI art. Saltier thought Robotnik's well-known trait was being... Ah yes, the good old mistranslation, when he's supposedly actually a womanizer. Because, obviously, we got to see a fair bit of Robotnik's supposed feminism in Sonic Rush, where he was just bad-mouthing Blaze a lot of the time. Come on, up we go. I will admit, something still kind of unnerves me about this place a little bit, just... Especially with the spiderwebs, just the prospect of coming across a giant... just sort of, at the very least, a giant mechanical spider and have the game suddenly go all Wild Wild West. Actually, that should have been the boss of this particular area. Just straight up go Wild Wild West. Of course, he'd make AI art. He only saved right here. Only in English map. Yeah, exactly. Right, here's the torches. We gotta set fire to the torches. Right. I think you don't come through this particular part as Team Sonic, as far as I'm aware. Robotnik is not a cat person. I wonder what kind... That is a good question as to what kind of pet Robotnik would have, because I know that in Sat AM he had his pet robot chicken by his side. I wonder if I wonder if Robotnik even was a fan of that show as a kid, or at all for that matter. But yeah.
Just watch this. You all ready?
You all ready? Apparently. Oh no, I think Team Sonic did come through here. Oh, they actually added extra layers. This might actually prove to be a bit of a difficulty. Just gotta keep an eye out for the lasers. Oh, not to worry, Shadow's back. He just was chilling in the pit down here. I wonder what he was thinking about down there. Just like, how many spines must have gone into making this place? There's like so many skeletal hands, and yet there's no spines. Where do they all go? Well, Shadow's dead. This room... Oh, yeah, it does have reflections. Just noticed. Wow.
What a bunch of annoying punks.
Out of my way. That reminds me, I always find it funny when people try to morally grandstand villains. Oh, like Sonic in issue 50. I get what you mean. It's like, yes, we must champion evil. For some reason, Eggman would never support AI-generated work. Like, ah yes, we must support evil. Evil would never do something so evil. It's kind of funny as well, because I remember back in, like, Western canon, they basically did every trick in the book to try and make Robotnik just the most villainous fiend ever, with just how he constantly pollutes everything. Oh, so much for the 6 Chaos Emerald. Love these ghosties. There we go. Still have no idea what's up with this particular place. Imagine Robotnik paying another person for anything. That's totally the thing he would do. Of course, he has to put the money from his casinos into creating more giant air fleets made of that look like fish. Robotnik would say he'd pay, but he touched the invoice. You should have said you'd pay. You should have said to pay in advance. It's not my fault that you didn't put pay in advance on your commission sheet. Thank you for more fuel to add to my AI yacht generator. Oh. I'm surprised we don't have to deal with, like, a, one of these with a hat on here, but I suppose it is quite a small platform. Listen, he might want to turn the world into a giant theme park, but he would never steal others' intellectual property. I mean, Sonic would, though, because no copyright law in the universe is gonna stop him.
Enemies eliminated.
I knew we could do it.
Thanks, Sonic Colors.
Just yet.
I can see Robotnik. Yeah, I can't help but feel I'm a little off my game with regards to my Robotnik voice.
As usual.
It's been a little bit. Commissioned someone to make God dodge the invoice and feed it into another. Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't even dodge the invoice, he didn't order and send a robot to capture and roboticize you. Oh, speaking of Robotnik, here he is.
What do you think, Omega?
Sensors jammed. Real Eggman ID not possible.
We'll just have to find out, won't we?
Also kind of find it weird that depending on each story you go through, in the cutscenes Robotnik has different colors for his lenses. Like, the Team Sonic his is green, but here they're red. Kind of weird that, I'm not entirely certain if this is the only time that happens, but not entirely certain as to why that's the case. Kind of, and yet in the actual gameplay it's just him in his standard green goggles. It's like, why would you do that and make it so noticeable, game? Oh, I just noticed these mini hawks. Or at the very least, I think that... Are they sparrows? Are they hawks? I don't know. some kind of bird. No one knows he'd absolutely be a hypocrite about. Yeah, exactly. He's just like Sonic in that case. How dare they steal my branding and robot ideas? It's kind of funny as well, because this is technically speaking an AI-generated Robotnik. The irony of it all. Alright, next.
Chaos control.
Throwing attention onto it because someone jailbroke into one of his robots. That's actually a good question. Would Robotnik have been into NFTs when they were popular? I can certainly imagine it. And then Vector just comes along and it's like, it's just as simple as pressing right click on your mouse and then hitting save picture as. It's like, no, I can't believe this. Oh, no. Oh yeah, I forgot the bishops can heal. I just want to make sure I'm up to maximum Team Blast before we go through. But absolutely grift everyone in the cube with NFTs, including Knuckles, apparently. It's okay, I put my Master Emerald in the blockchain. No! No! Oh no! My apes have been stolen! Wait, can you cancel the time stop by pressing the Z button again? Let me just... I need to see this.
Chaos control.
I don't understand. Feel super... Oh wow! For some reason, all this time, I never knew you could cancel out Chaos Inferno. What kind of universe have I been living in? What for some... It's like, even now I'm learning more stuff about this game. It's like, did you know that you can cancel out Chaos Inferno just by pressing the Z button again? Oh, Omega's... Well, great. I was so taken aback by this startling piece of information that I have to do it all over again. Yeah, get out of my sight. Vanilla. What makes you say that, Val? That's a very interesting choice.
Chaos control.
I feel like at least one of the Team Chaotic side would be... Well, certainly not Vector. He's a right-click hero. Probably Charmy in that case. In his never-ending quest to annoy Vector by blaspheming. Charmy, I told you not to take the Lord's name in vain! Yeah, I don't think cancelling the Team Blast is going to be particularly useful here. Vector would, but he'd have no subscribers. Well, how else are we supposed to make Ren SBO? Vector, I'm not entirely certain this is the most honorable of means of making money in this industry. Relax, SBO, we'll be fine. John looks like he would run a YouTube channel that tips of painting model figurines. Or, you know, he'd just be, just... the one to post absolute brain rot on his channel. Charmy seems like a brain rot enjoyer.
Annoying little pests, aren't they?
Oh, the many personalities of Vector. Indeed, he's a man of many talents and many personalities. The doctors keep telling him to take his medicine, but he won't. He says it obstructs his detective work. I gotta keep talking to the voices in my head, Doctor. They keep giving me clues to this next case. Detective might have a Brooklyn accent, is Christian, fake Australian. Oh, I think we've stumbled across something very evil indeed.
Chaos control.
Yeah, for some reason I always assumed Fang would have an Australian accent, but not Vector for whatever reason, even though he is a croc. Alright, I think we're back to where we were.
Chaos control.
Get out of my sight. Okay, next. They talk to me, they understand. Oh, he's in a never-ending feud with John Cena. Gotcha. He hears voices in his head. Yeah, I never got why they never brought Fang up into modern Sonic until now with Superstars. It's like, people like Fang, and I guess his, the female version of Fang in the comics. I know they were called Nick and Knack in the comics, but what would, her name be in the games if not Nick? Part of me wants to say Fing, because it's funny. Oh, I can't actually damage it. Alright. Time for you to sacrifice yourself, Shadow. Stop this senseless... I don't know, for some reason Shadow really sounds like X there. We must stop this senseless fight. Why must Reploids constantly fight each other? There's no meaning to any of this. It's time for me to kill all the Mavericks. Nick got done dirty. Yeah, so I've heard. Anyways, goodbye everyone. There was a Fang in the Archie run. Or so I've heard. I've seen plenty of fan art of it, of various shades. What have you got next for us, Robotnik? Alright, just jumping us with the big boys right at the very end. Nicely done, Robotnik. Get out of here, you. Oh yeah, Fang has assist. Opinions on Sonic Boom. The TV show, I always just labeled it as the Teen Titans Go of the Sonic series, which is kind of ironic considering it got killed by Teen Titans.
Mission completed.
Yay, we win. A purveyor of the Forbidden Scrolls.
Sentry robot troop.
That's rich coming from you, Vel. Anyways, it's time for the level that should have been in Generations again. The GCN show got killed, but yeah, exactly. And now they're being scattered to the four winds on whatever stream service they can get onto. It's kind of weird to see Steven Universe, of all things, come back. Potentially. On, like, Amazon Prime. And just like that, Shadow got over his whole amnesia thing by saying, I don't care. Gwee.
We might even be at the edge of space.
Why does that word haunt me? It's the only thing I can remember alongside...
Here it comes! Get away from the target marker! Here they come!
So that's an interesting question, actually, with regards to heroes. When does Shadow remember that gruesome image? When does he remember the moment where Maria gets shot in the middle of a hallway? Because that definitely happened. I don't know, it's still... The events around that still seem rather hazy to me. I know that's, the assumption is going off of what was done in Project Shadow, but... Part of me sort of likes the idea of a lot of the stuff that happened in the arc being falsified, just leaving it as one big sort of ambiguous question mark as to what really happened. I don't know, I just sort of kind of like that ambiguity. Gives a little bit more of a bit of a nuance, I'd personally say. Right at the start of Shadow... Oh. I don't know, it sounds as though, as far as I can be aware, that gruesome image seems to be implied as something that Shadow seemed to be having for a while up to that point. At least that's what I always gathered. Just like, I've been seeing that gruesome image constantly. It's the only thing I can remember. And it's like, oh, Shadow hasn't seen Watership Down, has he? I'll show you gruesome image. Where's Maria? Maybe doesn't care enough to remember. Well, again, Shadow doesn't remember anything. Yeah, I wish I'd known all this time that you could just cancel out the time stop. Things would have gone by so much smoother. I don't even have to look at the screen for this. In your own time, yep. I gotta wonder why Robotnik felt the need to model this after a swordfish. And then just put like a big block on it. Like, I sort of get the prospect of making your ships look like fish to make them seem more sleek, but you just made a swordfish and just plonked a box on the back of it. Like, what was the logic here? Oh yeah, I don't even have to worry about this guy. Time waits for no one, don't you know? Oh yeah, that feels super nice now. I don't need to use Rocket Excel Rouge. I can just run. Because the Rocket Excel in this game is useless. Yeah, I still gotta wonder to this day how exactly Robotnik managed to get all the resources in order to build this whole thing. This would have cost like, this must have cost like quadrillions. Like an amount of money that doesn't actually exist. How much money is he making from those casinos? Probably roboticized giant swordfish. I don't know. Considering that he switched to power cores in this game as opposed to using animal friends to power as living batteries. It's kind of weird that actually that he just doesn't use small animals to drive his badniks anymore. Like, again, it's more sort of a gameplay thing with the power cores, but at the same time, it's just... It feels like it's just a... concrete inherent thing to Sonic, just animals trapped in robots. Clearly you don't own a 3D printer. Ah yes, the wonders of an air-fried 3D printer. A 3D printed air fryer. I'm getting my wires crossed again. Don't even think about the print time on this thing. It's like the world's most powerful 3D printer. Actually, that's probably why it's designed so weird. He put it into his AI generator in order to design it. It's like, oh yes, it looks like a swordfish at the front, and then it's just a massive block at the back. That's probably not what I was really looking for, but we'll move out in like 3 days. I suppose we'll just have to make do. It's kind of weird that the Team Blast powers at this point kind of feel useless considering I can just build Team Blast whenever I want. In true Eggman fashion, they all have mustaches. Yeah, if only this ship had a mustache. And these birds. Yeah, that's just something I generally quite like about the Egg Pawns, that the resemblance they have to Eggman, just... I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I really like the sort of narcissistic side of Robotnik. It's like, yes, this was all me! I will conquer the world and get the recognition I deserve. Because I deserve to be paid for every hour I'm sat here in a dress.
Chaos control.
I don't know why that immediately came to mind, but... Oh. Give me a second, everybody. Just need to build up team... Do you mind, sir? I'm trying to build up Team Blast to blow you up. Yeah, that builds up pretty quickly. Get out of here, you. Love Eggman's fervent need to plaster his face and everything. Yeah. And I'm kind of baffled that wasn't in Forces. It's like, Robotnik's taking over the world. The entire planet should just be his face, and it's not. Services at Denny's.
Perfect as always.
It's a good look at... Yeah, exactly. Well, here we are finally, Final Fortress. Feels like it's taking a hot second. I don't know. It's weird. It still felt as though it's taken no time at all, even though this is technically, I think, the longest of the playthroughs, if... You know, it's just so long as you don't mess around too much on the Team Chaotic stuff. Ooh, there's a Team Blast thing down here. Perfect thing for you two. I get a feeling there's going to be a lot of abusing Team Blasts here. Naturally. Yeah, kind of nervous about this one, to be perfectly honest, fellas. Can I... Okay, that apparently worked. I'll take it. I'll take it. Give me the loot. I feel I'm gonna need that Team Blast in a hot second. And all the firepower I can possibly muster. Shadow, look out, you're falling towards that JPEG background. I do kind of find it funny. It's just like the video game equivalent of matte painting, really. It's just like one of those things which I kind of miss when games dead. There's like all this sort of, these techniques that still look good that they could have just done for much cheaper compared to spending billions on making CGI gobbledygook. Team Chaotix, Team K is... When you don't know all the... Oh, yeah. I remember the torture stage. Got stuck on that for a fair bit. Omega, what even is a tornado jump? Yeah, I'm always nervous bouncing on these particular rails, because it always feels as though I could easily just miss the mark and die at any moment, because, once again, bottomless pits. You saw that, right? Halo 3 stands as a very good example. Exactly! Well, I guess we're gonna have to go for this again, because apparently checkpoints don't exist. You saw that, right? I used the black tornado, and it didn't work. Fine, I guess we'll just do this again.
Chaos control.
Robbed? Exactly. I was more robbed than, the shippers in the IDW comics. Let's just go with that. Because it really just feels like that whole thing between Tangle and Whisper really just did come out of nowhere, didn't it? I know I mentioned this a couple of times, just... It always stuck out to me as just one of those things like, why are you defending this? You should be wanting more. You should be wanting better than this. You should have standards. But my wang... Is that what it's really called? Is it really called Wangle? Yeah, I get that shippers do need to be robbed occasionally, because... Then again... I don't really have much of a particular love for shippers personally, but it's like, again, I wish people would have standards. Oh, Whispbang. I was gonna say that's kind of a relief because Wangle is hilarious. It's like, you're not seriously gonna call yourselves Wangle shippers, are you? Alright, here we go again. There we go, it worked this time. What do you mean you ship me? I ship myself with Amy? I have no idea what you're talking about. Only a nutcase would ship themselves with a fictional character. Sounds like a slur. I was going more into the case that Wangle sounds more like a euphemism, to be perfectly honest. I thought he was more of a blaze button. I have no idea what you're talking about. Also, you're not about to get me with your funny lasers. You're not gonna get me with your... with all your last years this time. Oh! Dagnammit. Ooh. Don't think I've been up here before. Alright, now I have to deal with you. Yeah, I think the main play there is to just stun them with your flight character and then just batter them down with your power character. At least that's how it feels to me. Also, is it me or does this level feel shorter than I remember? It's like I remember this like going on for decades, but I guess not. I think it's mostly this segment that goes on for a fair bit with Team Dark. Thankfully, I can abuse Team Blast. The talk of the dork equals the winkle of the dangle Excelsior. What is this brain rot I'm listening to right now? What have you done, Vel? What has become of you? Why are you the way that you are? I could have sworn that this... Ah. So it is the case that there's a whole bunch of switches I need to activate over here. Thankfully, I can just, get rid of the cannons first. Oh, great. Oh, this is Christmas. Omega, get over here. Alright, I'm guessing it's going to be the exact same on the other side. In which case, I suppose I'd best hurry. No! Okay, it's good that he can actually recover from that. Alright, let's do this again. Ready when you are, fellas. And that's everybody. Who exactly is consuming all of these lesser grade badniks, I have to wonder. It's like, I'm not entirely certain these are, like, for sale, surely. Like, what could an egg pawn do for you except make you want to serve Robotnik? Bro, that smiling cat emote that Northern uses a whole bunch of Destiny right now. It's... Apologies for not looking at chat so much. I'm kind of in the middle of fighting for my life and trying not to die. Oh, we're right near the end. At least that's how it feels. This game is very polished.
Useless heaps of metal.
No, but don't you understand? Their attacks are mounting. Rouge, I don't care what you're mounting. We need to destroy these things. have no idea what's supposedly going on with my shadow voice, but I'm not sure I like it. Yeah, I will admit I'm definitely kind of missing the lightspeed attack of these fellas.
Chaos control.
See. Eggborns are surprisingly good at doing dishes, apparently. And surprisingly good at being mascots for base... No way! No way! T-posing Egghammer! I don't stand a chance anymore, we have to run! We have to live, we have to survive. That was amazing. Okay, just gotta save up some more Team Blast for the last of these guys. Oh, they just gave me a free Team Blast. Won't look a gift. Actually, that's a weird thing. You hardly ever see any horse Sonic OCs. It's too much. Yeah, it's always too much. We must flee. Don't let your guard down just yet. We haven't gotten to Smasher yet. Oh boy, having to dodge lasers in midair. That's gonna be a treat. I think we're coming up to the end, though. Alright, trying to fake me out by doing it twice. Thanks, game. Stay frosty. Alright, let's see if we can outrun this Lazier. Yep, we can. So yeah, surprisingly smooth Final Fortress run, if I do say so myself, which is weird because Team Dark Final Fortress is supposed to be the worst one. Worst most isn't really shortened, so it doesn't work. I know, it's just wishful thinking. Don't look a gift robot in the exhaust. Yeah, that works. Anyways, it's time to go and bully Robotnik again. They're not terribly well put together creatures. You're telling me. You made Hero so far look like a total cake. Well, yeah, because I have a lot of experience with this game. So of course I'd be able to make it look good. It's time for me to kill you, like I'm gonna do multiple times in Shadow the Hedgehog later this year. In Archie Comics, I know that some Archie Comics had an ant character at the very least. Oh yeah, this is the one which is supposedly the most jank thing. The thing that got most people to really hate Heroes for some reason. Oh. Presumably for that reason. Alright, off to a good start. I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna bully Robotnik this time around, and, well, I can see why people were starting to struggle with this particular segment, especially with that nonsense. No way did I actually avoid the charge. I didn't think that was possible. Ha ha ha! Alright, now it really is over for you, Doc. It's over, Robotnik! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power! Don't try it! That went by so quickly! A big Team Doc, a bigger version of Robot you killed over 100 times, but I'm inside it!
Eggman's robots must be...
Yep. And that's why I deem this particular boss fight to be one of the easier ones in the game, assuming you can actually get past that first wave. I did showcase this in the last part, it's just...
Eggman target completely destroyed.
I cannot self-terminate now. I also find it funny that he's liquid metal, actually. Shadow, he's made so many AI-generated versions of you! He fell for the Rise of Skywalker fallacy. Ah, secrets only the Sith knew. Cloning.
Hey, Omega.
Because apparently Camino doesn't exist in our memories at all.
Oh, never mind. Good luck.
Have fun. Ah, yes. He couldn't look up. But in fact, in the task version of the hero route, the team doesn't even reach the circle area. Oh. It's like that, is it?
Nothing. I might as well go look for that Master Emerald, since that irritating kid.
Rouge, I thought you gave up treasure hunting.
What are you saying? What else is that famous treasure?
Rouge, I can't hear you over the music. Well, that was Team Dark. Honestly, I was expecting to have a rougher time with this, and the toughest time I had was technical difficulties. Figure that one out. But, yeah. I can get why people would say this is the second worst of, or even tied for the worst of the stories in this game, considering it really is just a worse version of Team Sonic with regards to mostly just Omega being a worse version of Knuckles, and honestly, I kind of feel more forgiving given the fact that you can actually just turn off the time stop whenever you need to, so the Team Blast doesn't feel as useless as I initially thought it would. Still would say that Team Rose is the best, followed by Team Sonics, because you basically get a mini Team Blast afterwards. What would you know about that? You literally just met her today. If I remember correctly, Dark is supposed to be hard mode compared to the others. Yeah, it is. I do kind of find it funny about what Shadow just said just there, now that you mention it. It really seems as though he just kind of forgot about the whole memory thing for a little bit. It feels like it's a little bit patchy here, like especially with his first interaction with Sonic. You figure there'd be a little bit more weight behind that moment. It's just like, Shadow, I saw you die. It's like, what do you mean I died? And why do you look like me? I don't look like you, you look like me. Why do you look like me? And instead, no, it's just, it'll be a date to die for. Because we needed to get an iconic line for Flynn to rob for Shadow Generations. Also, just looking at these models again, I can't help but not just emphasize, they all look like they're made out of plastic. It's mostly just the texture work, but why are they all so glossy? Like, Omega makes sense, but why so much gloss? I need this song sung by Samurai? Don't count on it. Sonic doesn't understand the concept of death. I mean, apparently he just killed the concept of death in Frontier, so is this gonna be like a Sim situation where ghosts just end up just floating around unable to go to the afterlife? That's something that I never really got, to be honest. Like, the end is supposed to be the, I suppose, personification of death, and yet you kill it, and then what? Does it mean that nobody can die? It's really bad, especially on Omega's shoulders. Gloss look is one of my biggest gripes. Yeah, exactly. Well, we're just sort of stuck here listening to the rest of the song. I'll let it play out and then we'll wrap up for the night. I'll make it sure, but why anyone else? I don't know. I guess they just really like the prospect of everybody looking like plastic. Super hot, yes. There we go, saving, so it didn't black screen again, and that's gonna be it for this time around. Next time, we're gonna be doing Team Chaotix. As the Robotnik watches just doesn't roll off the tongue. Exactly, so yeah. Tune in next time where we hang out with the boys and collect crabs. But until then, thank you for tuning in to whatever this was. Take care. Good night.